were once a smart child. So why do you now feel lost and confused in life? Have you ever wondered, why do children who were praised as smart, outstanding, and talented end up feeling lost, lonely, and directionless as they grow up? When you were young, intelligence was the shining light that made you stand out in the crowd. You were the pride of your family, the center of attention in class. But as you grew older, you realized the world doesn't run on praise. Life isn't as simple as a test. There are no more grades to prove your worth, no more admiring glances when you get an answer right. You begin to feel disconnected, as if you're trapped in a world that no longer resembles what you once knew. You lose motivation, struggle to connect with others, and feel like you don't belong anywhere. Why is this happening? Because no one ever told you, intelligence alone isn't enough to go the distance. What we need is self-awareness, the courage to embrace failure, and the ability to rise after every fall. From a very young age, every child starts shaping their identity based on what the adults say about them. A talent, a special ability, these all become pieces of the puzzle called "Who am I?" And among the many labels a child can carry, "You're so smart" is one of the strongest. When you're always praised for being smart, you start to believe that your worth is tied to your intellect. You think, if I'm smart, then everything should be easy. I shouldn't fail. From this, a belief is planted deep in your subconscious. Success is a given. Failure is a sign of weakness. But this is the invisible trap. When things are no longer easy, when life starts challenging you with crossroads, doubt and pressure will arise. You feel confused, insecure, because you've never learned how to fail. The praise you received as a child was sweet, but if it wasn't balanced with lessons in perseverance, resilience, and the ability to rise again, it becomes a burden. In 2006, psychologist Carol Dweck published a groundbreaking study on mindset. She discovered that children who are praised for their intelligence may come to believe that their intellect is a fixed trait, something that can't be changed. This can lead to a fear of failure and a tendency to avoid challenges, because they worry that failure will reduce their self-worth. This results in a lack of skill in facing difficulties and challenges, reducing their ability to adapt as they grow. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and stay updated on meaningful insights. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and inspire our growth together. 1. Why smart children struggle as they grow up. Once praised as the smart kid, we grew up in the glow of high expectations and compliments. But when we step into real life, many of us feel lost, lonely, and like we're failing in this vast world. Intelligence was once our strength, but if not understood properly, it can easily become an invisible prison, where we trap ourselves in familiar things and are too afraid to step out of our comfort zone. Smart children often choose to retreat from challenges, only to protect the label of being good that was once placed on them. They stick to what they know, avoid trying new things, afraid that one failure might make them not as smart as before. This belief unintentionally stifles their growth, preventing them from learning how to overcome difficulties and not knowing how to rise after falling. 2. Identifying the issue, how smart children build and protect their identity. From a very young age, many smart children begin shaping their identity around their intellect. For them, "I'm smart" is not just a compliment. It's the core value, the defining feature of who they are. But when this identity becomes too rigid, it turns into an invisible barrier. Just one tough challenge or a small failure, and the child immediately feels they no longer deserve the label of smart. A sense of lost self-worth creeps into their thoughts, creating enormous pressure. Instead of embracing difficulties to grow, many children choose to avoid challenges, only doing what they're sure will succeed. Over time, this makes it harder for them to connect with others, leaving them isolated from the people around them. But identity doesn't have to be fixed. You are not just the smart person. You are a learner, a perseverer, someone who rises above challenges. By daring to step beyond the boundaries of safety, you'll discover your true strength within. 3. Early signs, difficulty in connecting and socializing. Loneliness doesn't hit suddenly. It begins with moments when we stop connecting, stop engaging in group activities, and retreat into our own world. For smart children, this often happens quietly and slowly. Instead of feeling with their hearts, they learn to analyze with their intellect. They can understand when others are sad, angry, or worried, but they struggle to truly connect on an emotional level. Communication slowly becomes a skill that must be perfect, rather than a natural exchange of feelings. Eventually, every conversation becomes a challenge. If they can't excel in communication, they feel like they're failing. This feeling makes them withdraw from social interactions, retreating from relationships, and growing increasingly disconnected in a crowd. The consequences of overpraising intelligence. When a child is praised too much for their intelligence, what seems like a positive thing actually carries an invisible risk: the belief that success should come easily, without effort. So, when they face their first challenges in life, they don't just experience failure. They feel they're no longer worthy of the label of being smart. A sense of hurt sneaks in, making them overanalyze, overcritique themselves, but they can't find a way to escape their emotions. To protect themselves from the pain, they create a layer of defensive arrogance, a belief that I'm different, no one understands me. But this only pushes them further away from real connection and true emotional intimacy. They begin using their intelligence to analyze others instead of feeling with them. But no one can rationalize away loneliness. And the harder they try to explain, the more they can't fill the emptiness inside. In the end, the smart child falls into a cycle of defensive pride, what seems like strength, but is actually a barrier that only makes their heart feel more lost than ever. 5. The first step to change: imperfect action. Action is the first step to change, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Don't wait until you're smarter or better. The first step is simply to take action, even if you stumble. Engaging in new activities, even if you're not yet skilled, is a great way to open up opportunities for growth. You don't have to be an expert right from the start. Just be brave enough to try, brave enough to fail, and learn from those mistakes. True connection comes from authenticity, not perfection. Relationships aren't built on success or achievements, but on your willingness to be yourself, with all your flaws and imperfections. 6. The solution: changing your identity. Growth mindset is the key that unlocks the door to sustainable success. Encourage continuous learning and growth rather than just seeking instant success. Success is not a destination, but a journey of change. Embrace failure as a crucial step towards maturity. Failure is not the end, but a part of the learning process. Failure doesn't diminish your worth. It helps you grow stronger and more resilient. Explore yourself through new experiences. Don't limit yourself to what you already know. Challenge yourself in new areas to expand your abilities and discover your limitless potential. Engage in group activities, such as clubs, study groups, or volunteering. These help you learn how to work in teams and connect with others. It's an opportunity to hone your communication skills and learn to share your emotions, rather than just analyzing everything logically. Discover empathy as the key to building genuine connections. Listen, understand others, and see the world not just through the lens of logic. Build relationships that are emotional and meaningful, not just superficial exchanges. Create a new identity based on growth, openness to change, and a readiness to embrace new opportunities. 7. The benefits of applying these solutions. Implementing these solutions helps you break free from past limitations and opens up opportunities for flexible personal identity growth. No longer confined by old expectations, you can freely explore and develop in your own way. Encouraging experimentation and exploring new things helps you escape the constraints of perfection that society places on you. You don't have to be perfect. Just be brave enough to step out and give it a try. These solutions not only motivate you to keep learning, but also ignite a spirit of exploration, helping you grow through each experience. Every step forward is an opportunity for development, and you'll realize that this journey is filled with valuable lessons. 8. Conclusion: reconnecting and understanding. True connection begins when you embrace who you truly are, flaws, mistakes, and all. It's through this self-acceptance and willingness to grow that we find deeper understanding, not only of ourselves, but also of those around us. A genuine sense of belonging doesn't arise from intelligence or extraordinary talent, but from passion, courage, and the openness to fully engage with life. to love, to learn, and to savor each moment. Don't let invisible walls keep you distant from your own heart or the people who matter. Step out of your comfort zone. Challenge your limits. Keep evolving. Because only when you truly live, when you dare to love and dare to show up, will you unlock the power of authentic connection. Call to action. If this message resonates with you, share your thoughts and spread it forward. Let's grow a community where everyone feels seen, valued, and celebrated.